It's an absolutely beautiful day, so even though it's way early for me to be doing a video, I'm going to do one anyway. Yeah, finally the hot, humid air mass has seemed to move on for the moment. Here is my first big pumpkin of the year. That's a Renegade, coming along nicely. And there are two more. One of them's on the same vine, right here. If I can exact point the camera, there we go. And there's another one over here. Now the jury's still out about whether Renegade keeps its first female blossom of the year. I have a feeling it does not, because I seem to remember seeing some wilted, not just the flower, but the entire bulb was wilted on a couple of plants earlier. But it does seem to hang on to most or all of the succeeding female blossoms. As you can see, we got a lot of male blossoms in the garden this morning. I don't know if there's any more females today. And the vine that was dying down a few days ago, I was going to pull it out. Seems like it's going to regenerate itself. We'll see. It's looking a lot healthier as of today. So far so good. So let's see how the Atlantic Giant is doing. That is also regenerating itself. Yeah, it's got little secondary vines on it now. So I have some hope, but I only see male flowers right now. I don't see any females. So if we do get a pumpkin out of this year, it'll be small because we're running out of time now. Let's see. Yeah. And at least it didn't die. So that's how our pumpkins are doing today. Be happy to see a few more female flowers on the Renegades, because we only have 6 vines, so I'd like to get at least 3 pumpkins out of every vine. But we'll see. Maybe there's a few I'm not seeing because there's a lot of leaves right now, and so you can't always see everything at this part of the season. Now this is, let's see what I'm getting here. Sorry, I'm turning the camera funny. This is Mad Hatter pepper, and I don't know if it is Mad Hatter pepper because it's finally starting to grow peppers after dropping all the flowers. But you see here, get the camera right on it. That doesn't mean it's actually showing you what I'm seeing. Let's see if I get my hand there. Yeah, that's not a Mad Hatter pepper. So I'm not entirely sure what I have right now. Very disappointing. Someone obviously switched the marker at the Home Depot where I bought it. So that's a little frustrating. I just hope it's not a super hot ghost pepper or anything like that, because those will be useless to me. I don't even think any of my friends would want those. So we shall see. Here is my homegrown cherry tomato that comes back on its own every year. It's got a lot of little cherry tomatoes on it. And of course we have the beefsteaks. A lot of beefsteaks on there too. Put my hand in, that's the only way I can tell what I'm pointing the camera at. So you're going to see my hand quite a bit. Here we go. Over here we got garden salsa. It's supposed to be a mildly hot pepper. I may have to pick some today even though they're not ripe. You can eat most peppers when they're not ripe, by the way. You don't have to wait for them to turn red because sometimes they rot before they turn red, especially in our climate here, which isn't a great pepper climate. So I'm going to pick a lot of these today to encourage it to set more peppers. This is a big one right here. I'm told that they're very hot. So much for the mild hot pepper. Next year I'm going to try to grow Felicity, which is either Felicity or Fooled You, which are both rumored to be actual mild jalapenos. And over here we finally have some Rosa Bianca eggplant growing. Let's see if I can, sorry about the camera work. To get at these peppers I have to turn the whole thing sideways because they're so low to the ground. There. Doesn't look healthy, but it's actually growing. So there's an eggplant. And over here we have big beef, my favorite kind of tomato plant. And it has at least 30 tomatoes on it. I think probably more. Over here this is the weird little heirloom type tomato that came up on its own last year. It has been attacked by deer pretty extensively. I did put this netting over it. That's helping a bit. I also, on the other mysterious tomato plant here, I have a lot of onions growing in the garden. I cut off some leaves. The leaves are hollow, so I put them over where the deer had been nibbling, sort of a glove, and that stopped the nibbling. So there's a nice bunch of flowers there. Hopefully we will have, there we go. Hopefully we will have some of those salmon colored tomatoes that I can give away. And here is garden salsa. Now to get a picture of a garden salsa pepper, I'd have to turn the camera completely upside down because they're all at the bottom. This is a small, well, a short jalapeno that is, I'm going to say regularly spicy. Is a short and fat jalapeno. And those are still forming. They're at the bottom. This plant is having light issues right now because the tomato plants have gotten so big. So probably won't do as well as it has been doing for the rest of the summer. What else do we have here? Ah, cucumber. The cucumbers have regenerated. I thought I was going to lose them the last video I did, but they're doing better. I think without all the dust coming from next door where they were installing a paver walkway and cutting the pavers. So we actually do have a couple of cucumbers. Well, also the weather has moderated a bit and that helps too. We have a couple of baby cucumbers on the way here. So hopefully we'll have a good season with the cucumbers. But we'll see, because I've only had one good year growing cucumbers in this little container that you see here. And we got some carrots growing, radishes growing. Not doing very well, but I never do well with these, so I'm not going to stress about it. It's just the way it is. And over here, got our purple potatoes that I kept over the winter, and they started to sprout. So instead of buying seed potatoes this year, I just threw them in the beds and this is what happened. So we got two different kinds of purple potatoes in here. Still got a bit left to this season. I did see a video by someone on when to harvest potatoes, and basically I always thought that if you want new potatoes, you harvest just after flowering, and if you want full size, you wait until the potato plant dies back, which these are in the process of doing. So I'm going to do that again this year. I don't see why it should be a complicated thing. So yeah, we're back at the Renegades again. And I don't see many male flowers. This vine that was having issues is putting up all male flowers, which is fine with me, because then there's a greater likelihood when there's a female flower on another plant that it'll get pollinated. I have no problem with that. So yeah, it's all male flowers. I'll be darned. Huh. Well, maybe that'll change in the next few days. Okay, and the last thing, well, second to last thing. And these are the Pikes Peak sunflower. The tallest one, I'd say, is about 11 feet tall, 11 to 12 feet tall. And it does look kind of weird. But Pikes Peak does look weird. The bud looks very, very strange. It might be bug damage, but as I remember last year, they looked kind of strange too. And these guys are the shorter ones, the one that's about my height here. Hi, honey. Okay, I have to go for a second. I have a visitor here. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. That was Milla the dog. She is an Australian Shepherd who lives next door. And she, once a day, gets a treat. So we had to give her her treat. So she would go back in the house. Because her mom wanted her back in the house. She came over for her treat. So, okay, anyway, this is a shorter sunflower, and it appears to be sending up secondary flowers. So I'm thinking it might be a different kind of sunflower than that other one. Maybe I'll get a teddy bear sunflower again out of the blue. It's sending up a lot of secondaries. It might also be that other one I had, strawberry blonde. So yeah, it's the only one that's doing that. The rest of them only have one bud. So we'll see what that turns out to be. And this one here might be something else too. It's only maybe 1.5 feet taller than me, so it's maybe 7 feet tall. And this one over here is a little shorter than me, but it only has one bud. So we'll see what they turn out to be when they open, because it's impossible to tell right now. Except for the one, I'm sure this one is something else other than Pikes Peak. So we shall see what comes up. Now, camera's swinging itself around here. And there was one other thing I wanted to show you. Yes, I need to weed. That's ongoing here. But this is, I've been trying to grow lavender ever since I moved in here. And I had no problem at my old garden. We had pink hidcoat lavender that had been coming up for a couple of decades by itself. But out here, I have been here, this is my 5th summer, I think. And this is my 5th planting of lavender. I've tried Munstead, which was an instant failure. I've tried Hidcoat, and now I'm trying Phenomenal, which is a new lavender. It's supposed to be a little bit hardier than the other lavenders. This is Phenomenal here. and I can show you the difference between phenomenal and a regular Hidcote lavender. Let's go over this way. Yeah, nothing grows better here than weeds. Yeah. This is a Hidcote that I planted earlier this year, and it is starting to bloom. See how it looks? It's a lot of that's weeds. Sorry about that. And over here is phenomenal. So Hidcote and phenomenal. Phenomenal is a lot denser. So here's a phenomenal that looks like it's thinking about blooming. It's over here. But it's still a different color and denser. So that brings to mind that I should get out here and weed before the sun hits this bed, because they'll become ungodly hot even though it's not that bad out right now. So you're looking at world champion rose right now. This is the weed rose that nothing kills. And I'll stop there, and I'll see you next week.